Yo, what's up guys? It's your second favorite amphibian here. And you know what? Content's running pretty low, so we're gonna be counting down the top 10 exotics in Destiny 2. Let's get it. Alright, taking 10th place, we got the 4th Horseman. Now you might be thinking, why is this even on the list? It's got very niche uses in PvE, it's completely atrocious in PvP, so why is it up here? Because it's sick! Try to tell me that you don't wield this and you feel like Clint Eastwood's bigger, scarier brother. This thing is sick! I was also gonna say that it comes from the Tex Mechanica family of weapons, but apparently there's like a whole debate whether it is or not, because I mean, look at this thing. Tell me these two aren't related. Technically, it doesn't have the insignia on the side, so it's not technically one of the weapons, but I mean, we know it is. Okay, so I put this one up here because it's kind of like Galahorn, but for cool people. Don't think into it too much. Devil's Ruin is a hidden gem. First of all, tell me, when was the last time you saw Devil's Ruin within the Crucible? Exactly, you don't! And you know why you don't see it in the Crucible? Me neither, this thing's fucking sick! There's no downsides to using this. This whole weapon is one big deception. It's a sidearm, so you see it, you're like, oh, this is a crappy pistol, man. I can just outgun it with a shotgun or an SMG. And you know what? If you're using the sidearm mode, you probably can. But once you start holding down that left click, that left trigger, it is lights for that person at the end of the barrel. It can just one burst someone, and it doesn't matter how many bullets you have in the mag. You can start this beam at 1 bullet, you can start it at 15. And you know what? It's still gonna last the exact same amount of time. You wanna go even further with this? Pair this with Peneers. See the messages you get. One word, Telesto. Now if that word doesn't fill you with fear, then you're probably not a Bungie dev. And for a while, this weapon was quite literally broken. And I would argue that it still is. What's the biggest downside of every fusion rifle? Yes, the range. Sure, it can shoot a little bit further than a shotgun, but the range on most of these is usually still quite low. Enter Telesto. This thing is fundamentally broken. This thing, instead of shooting laser beams that have damage fall off, it shoots little pellets that travel straight forwards and eventually explode. Difference is, this explosion doesn't have damage drop off. This thing can just completely map. You can also play this weapon as a big brain player. These little pellets, they don't explode unless they're shot at, run out of time, or someone walks near them. You want to be a campy little rat and sit in a tower on Vostok with a scout rifle? Pop this weapon on, shoot some pellets at the front door. Anyone tries to knock down that door? That's GG. Alright, next up we got Ace of Spades. Now despite this having one of the coolest backstories in the game, this weapon's kind of a boring exotic. Think about it. Bungie was making this weapon and they said, what perk should we put on it? And then some motherfucker in that meeting said, hey, how about we just put all of them on it? Like, bruh! You want explosions on kills? Firefly? Yeah, we got you. You want kill clip but slightly better? Memento Mori? We got you. You want to yoink the Mida perk and just be able to see your radar when ADS in? We got you! But you know what? This is such an iconic weapon that it deserves to be among the top weapons in this list. So here it is. Alright, so next on the chopping block, we got Cerberus. This weapon is an absolute beast. Another genuine hidden gem. You wanna have fun in quick play? Nowadays, that's a pretty difficult task, but you pop this gun on and just start playing like an ape. Go back in your evolution tree, go back to monkey, and just run headfirst at people with this thing. And you know what? 50% of the time, you'll still win! The advantage this has over shotguns and SMGs is that it's sort of a combo between the two. It takes primary ammo and has a lot of it in a single mag, but it has several barrels leading it to function similar to a shotgun. Just don't use the masterwork mode and this weapon's a banger. Alright, so in recent memory, there was a lot of discussion about this weapon. You know, the sweaty PvE community, they were thinking, hey, this makes the game way too easy. And you know what? We're not all like you, man. Some of us had to go through an LFG to get this. It's one thing to do this raid in the most stupidest way possible. It's another to do it with complete randoms. So just let me enjoy the weapon. Also, this is kind of a hidden gem in Crucible. I mean, you rock this in a team setting. Supers, they don't stand a chance. Okay, locking down third place, we've got Dead Man's Tale. Now I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this. I get that this weapon was absolutely broken, absolutely busted, but you can't tell me it's not a fun weapon to use. This goes back to the same thing as the 4th Horseman. It's just a nice feeling weapon, especially once you get that masterwork. That masterwork just brings this to the next level. Now I will admit, this did get nerfed. It's not as good, but it's still pretty damn good. My one piece of advice with this: Don't play this like a scout rifle. Play this like a hand cannon that's got infinite range and perfect hipfire. You know what? After a lot of time of consideration, I have come to the conclusion that this is the best exotic hand cannon. No, that's a complete lie. Ace is easily the best. It beats everything else by tenfold. But this is my favorite. Think about it this way. How many weapons in the game are there that can one-tap a Guardian? Alright, so I've narrowed it down to special weapons and heavy weapons. Now, how many weapons can do that with primary ammo? Okay, there's maybe a few. You know, if you get real up close and personal, Cerberus plus the Masterwork, you can actually hit 200 tag. Now, how many weapons can hit this without needing a kill? This weapon can get primary ammo one-taps without even needing a kill to prime it. If that doesn't do this weapon justice, then I don't know what will. This thing is sick. And finally, the number 1 spot goes to Fighting Lion. Alright, so if you saw my previous video, you'll notice that I'm a bit of a fan of this gun. I'm slightly biased towards it, but it sort of speaks for itself. At first glance, you might not think much of this weapon, but think about it. You've got a thing that's got infinite ammo that can hurt people behind cover. And yes, you could say, hey, every GL does this, but this is infinite ammo. This is primary ammo. And sure, it might not be able to one-tap on its own, but it is amazing at priming. Anytime that you've got a special weapon that uses primary ammo, it will inevitably end up breaking the game. And that is the sole reason why these two haven't been brought back. Mainly this one though, because snipers. Alright, so that's the end of the video. Do you agree with my list? I don't know. Comment down below. If you think I'm completely wrong, tell me. I would really like to read your criticisms about why my opinion is wrong. Also, these are just opinions. This isn't objective. These are my favorite exotics. You disagree, you disagree. And without further ado, see you in the next one, which will be in whenever I feel like it.